Iran generates 74,000 megawatts of electricity. We generate 4. And they're protesting. Iran has the unemployment of 11% and youth unemployment of 25%. We have unemployment of 19.8% and youth unemployment of 61%. So those youths will protest one day. Those of us who happen to be lucky to live in Ikoyi and Victoria Island, I say to them every day, if we don't look for food for those who live in Ajegunle, one day we will not be living. So my people, what you need to do is, I believe that you must invest in Nigeria. You must bring your investment. What else can you do? Well, above all, Fela's last request is most critical. We must change the managers of Nigeria. And somebody asks, how about your life? You ask that question. You know why you ask that question? Nigeria has become a case of where lunatics took over the asylum. And we don't know what lunatics do when you want to take anything back from them. They create a thing as if there's a war. So you run away. The madman comes there and say, hey, everybody say, I don't want to touch this madman. That's what they're doing. We need to take it back. We need to become as mad as they are and take it back. They can manage it. You have a critical problem. The managers of your country, I'm not talking about president or governor, anybody. Fella hit it. The lower people, none of you knows who is in your local government. Every local government in Nigeria receives 100 million naira every month. Go and look for their chairman, they are nowhere to be found. And the same thing goes with your state. You have a situation today where people are owing salary for 7 months and they're celebrating their birthday. How can you say a thing like that? How can you be celebrating when you've ruined people's life? People are dying and you're celebrating and people are watching it on TV. It's a crisis. And the only people that can stop that crisis is you. They can't stop it. Telling people in lunch that when I found it amazing that even people in America are part of the problem. As governor, I come here, you know what people tell me? This man bought this house, this man bought this house. Where are you going to buy your own? Why will I buy a house in America? I don't live in America. I have nothing to do with America. It only cost me $200 to come here and go. Why will I buy a house? Americans should live in America. I'm a Nigerian. I live in Onitsha. That is where I should live. I go to South Africa. I go to everywhere. I say, buy a house in South Africa. How many South Africans have bought a house in Nigeria? How many Americans have bought a house in Nigeria? So why would Nigerians come here? You live here. Yes, you can own a house here. But not people. I come here as governor and Nigerians will tell you, oh, let's bring somebody and have a party. Why will I leave Nigeria to come and do party here? No way. I should come here as a beggar for you to give me something to take home, not to come and celebrate here. I have people who need food in the country. And Nigerians are celebrating here. And you go there and become them His Excellency. When you should push them to go back and do their work at home. So start telling them, if your governor comes here or local government chairman, do not be part of celebrating him. Tell him to go home and fix what he's supposed to do. Don't encourage him to waste the resources. He didn't come with his money. He came with your money. We're asking you to bring back your own. What we need to do is to manage that which is there effectively. And on top of it, our government have the most wasteful people in charge in the world. We're in a state of Florida. This state has your richest state in America is California, with a GDP of 2.6 trillion, 6 times Nigerian GDP. With a per capita of 50,000, Nigeria is 2. Can governor of California drive 5 vehicles at a time? No, I'm asking you people a question. So we need to fix it. Can Governor of California use 5 vehicles at a time? In your place, they use 30 and call it convoy. If it's not madness, tell me what it is. Or you think madness is when somebody doesn't have a cloth? No, there's difference from madness. That's what we need to fix first. So I want you to be part of that change agent, fella is saying. Let people have souls and care for their people. That is what we need in our country. We need people who can think. Why are we not investing in the right thing? Today everybody knows, everybody is investing in education and all that. We're not investing. People are telling why the problems we have in Nigeria, how can it solve? 60% of the children out of school live in sub-Saharan Africa. 10 million live in Nigeria. Yes. You can go and check your records. I saw somebody the other day. A particular state in Nigeria, Zamfara. Let me just call it. In the last year, NECO had only 110 students. Only 24 passed. A state of 5 million people. 24. When another state has almost 200,000 for the same exam, it won't work. It's Nigeria. Every part of Nigeria is important to us. We have to ask that question. Why? What is happening? So when we're not Nigerians staying here, your investment is critical, but what is more critical? That you become part of the change agent. On top of this type of situation, you still have people like me who are elected. Only in Nigeria, you elect people. People ask me now while we're eating lunch, what is the problem? I said, the problem is the people. So only in Nigeria that you elect people. They don't have car, they don't have anything. 6 months, they build a house, buy 20 cars, and call it for Thanksgiving, and people will go there. And they will be praying in the church, telling God to bless them. And the bishop will preach that wherever they got the money, should give them more when they have to call police. Because they know where the money came from. Everybody knows where the money came from. But they are still celebrating it. He comes to America and buy a house, and they said, if you see his house, and it's in choice areas. When he's in Washington, they tell you this place, this man owns the house here. In New York, this man owns the house here. With whose money? Let him show you his business. His daytime job. That earn that money. For God's sake, why would Peter Obi come and buy the choice area in Washington when he didn't own it before? A governor built a house that is unbelievable, and they asked, he said, I used to have the money. Why didn't you build it before? Hey, wait a minute. What are you telling us? And you're owing us salary. Even if you had the money before, you would have kept quiet. The rascality must stop. That's what we need to do first. Let's deal with this rascality first. It's when we stop this rascality.
Have you seen the video? What is your reason for not sharing this video? Share this video to everywhere. Let them see that this is the problem they have with Peter Obi. Their problem is because the man has proven to be better than all of them. That's the problem. The man has sense. He understands the economy. He has a personal reputation. He has got a personal understanding of the problem and ready to solve it. They don't want that. They are looking for who they will fight with. They are looking for people that will call their names. People that they have vindictive vendetta with. People that, get out of this place. And we must stop this era. I personally was happy when President Muhammadu Buhari became president of Nigeria in 2015, sorry. No, I was happy. We were able to unseat an equal bet government. I will be happier in 2023 when we will see Peter Obi become president, because for the first time, we are going to show to these two parties that Nigeria, or the power, is actually with the people. What is democracy? We are going to prove to them that the power is actually with the people. That's what I want to do. We must continue to sensitize our people from the grassroots to the diaspora that power is actually with the people. And what we can do that is to share content like this. Don't let anybody deceive you. I tell you that we cannot win the election. That's a lie from the pit of hell. We can win this election and we'll win it. Share this video and then get out.
Look at our traditional leaders and the slave trade. We blame the whites for the slave trade we went through. We blame the whites that they offended us. They took us as slaves. But let's wait for a minute. Who sold the black man to the whites? Who sold the black man to the whites? Our own traditional leaders. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. If we are asking the Europeans to pacify us and also to apologize to us, our traditional leaders must be the first to apologize on behalf of their ancestors for the evil they have done against their fellow blacks. Look at our attitude towards the environment and the destruction of our water bodies. All our river bodies have turned into dark brown. And you know what they said? In the next 20 years, if we don't stop this illegal mining, Ghana, we will import water to drink. Yet we don't care. And Chinese, they will come from their country into our forest, destroy our forest, destroy our land, and illegally mine and damage our waters. How can they come if the traditional leaders didn't give them permission to do that? And in one instance, while they were dead, our military went there to protect them. Our own military that is supposed to protect us rather protected the foreigners to destroy our water and destroy our forest. The enemy is not outside, the enemy is within. If you look at our own systems and structures in our country, we don't have a better system to improve the lives of people. Pastor, I was surprised when I read in China, they had a 10-year vision, and they said from 2011, their vision was that in 10 years from 2011, and 10 years from 2011 will be what year? This year, 2021, that they will raise over 20% of the people to become multi-millionaires. Now in 2021, they have 1.8 million Chinese who are multi-millionaires in China, and they are between the age of 40 to 50 years. Multi-millionaires. The government intentionally decided that they would make sure they will have 20% of the population multi-millionaires. They also agreed that they will make sure that they will lift up the poorest of the poor. And they lifted 100 million people from begging to live a better life. But in this country, in our country, we fight our own businessmen. Our government will fight our business people. When they know that your business is thriving, and they know that perhaps you are not sympathetic towards the running party or the ruling party, they will fight you, collapse your company, and make you poor. When in China, they want to make the people rich. In Africa, we want to make our own people poor. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. Look at our African leaders. How much they stole, the money they stole away. We are told in Gambia, Jamal Yaha, he stole $11 million US from his own country, Gambia. Sani Abacha stole between $1 billion to $5 billion out of Nigeria. Hosni Mubarak stole $17 million US in 8 years. The enemy is not outside. The enemy to our own progress is within. Look at our presidents, the presidents who were fighting for our independence, what we did to them. In Togo, the man who fought for the independence of Togo, called Sylvanus Olympio, when Togo got independence, he decided that they would not use the French franc, the French CFA. They decided they will have their own Togo currency. And you know what? They used Iyadema to kill him and to get rid of him. When Olympius wanted to make Togo great, the enemy within, the Judas within, killed him. In Burkina Faso, the man who gave them independence, Maurice Yamago, was eliminated by his own people. When Thomas Sankara came, his own body group killed him and got rid of him. The enemy is not outside. The enemy is within. You look at our own country, Kwame Nkrumah started a new vision to develop Ghana, and who undermined him from within? They threw him out by Kotoka. Today we celebrate Kwame Nkrumah, but their own Judas will damage him. I pray that the man who organized that coup to betray Kwame Nkrumah and for us to name our airport after him, Kotoka International Airport, I think we should start a national conversation to change the name of the Kotoka International Airport. Because as long as that name is, we have endorsed coup, we have endorsed enemies that will fight the progress of our nation. We must change the name of Kotoka International Airport to Kwame Nkrumah International Airport. The enemy is not outside, the enemy is within. We need to ask God to give us a new character. Let's change our behavior and have new values. Because the person will be smiling with you, smiling with you, yet he will stab you at the back. How can you have a father who wants to destroy your life? Yet in Africa, we have governments that do not want to make the people or improve the lives of the people. When in overseas, their governments have created an environment for every citizen to be better. Why is it that our governments can't think about the welfare of the citizens? And we kill the businesses of our own people.